Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and these are the top 10 tricks you can do as a bartender. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Today we're looking at bartending magic. What? Why? Well, a couple reasons. Number one of y'all said that would be a good idea. So somebody down in the comment section, hey, it'd be cool to do a top 10 for bartending tricks. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. But also because I've seen a couple of you that are consistent commenters, I know you are bartenders because you've said that you do this bartending. So I thought, well, let's answer the one question, but then let's also open up a discussion with some of our magician bartenders who are frequent commenters, and let's see what we can come up with, right? Because I think this is a great thing to explore. I think this is a great topic to look at. It'll give me a chance to talk about some things that I haven't yet been able to talk about on this show. And yeah, let's open the door to magic bartending. Top 10, all right? We're doing a top 10. You guys love the top 10s. We love top 10s around here. Probably gonna be more like 11, I think. Something like that. We'll see. But I thought let's start with some advice. All right, let's start with some advice. The first of which is the bar makes a great servant, right? Now, what is a servant? It's a holdout or a place you can store magic or ditch magic. It's just a nice little, behind the scenes pocket that you can have behind the bar. A couple tips for having magic behind the bar, if that's where you're gonna store it. First, I would say, if you're alone back there, then, do whatever you want. If you're the only bartender back there for a certain shift and nobody else is back there and you've got some stuff spread out, that's fine as long as you clean it up afterwards. But if there are other bartenders working with you, I would just make sure that they understand that you're doing magic and that you're keeping your stuff here. And just ask them, is it okay if I put my stuff here? Because you don't want to be in the way of somebody else. It's fine if this is what you're going to do, kind of like in those low moments to entertain, and I would make sure that your boss knows that you're doing this too. Don't just spring it on them, right? But as a courtesy to the other bartenders that are working, especially if you might leave your stuff there when your shift is over, I personally wouldn't. Just make sure that it's out of the way and that everything's tidy. But yeah, a bar makes a great servant. Second piece of advice, don't let your magic impede on your job as a bartender. You are a bartender who does magic. You are not a magician bartender, all right? When your boss hired you, they hired you to be a bartender. They hired you to serve drinks quickly and with good customer service. And so that's number one, all right? If you're over here doing this long 3-phase routine and somebody down there is waiting for a drink, that's bad, okay? Your number one job is to be a bartender. So not only keep those tricks nice and short, but please be aware of the other customers. Be aware of your employer's time. If he's asked you to do something or she's asked you to do something, please make sure that you're doing your job, all right? And then lastly, I would say, look nice. In fact, look sharp. Dress to impress. Look nice, dress nice, smell nice, trim your fingernails, okay? Be somebody that is fun to be around, okay? Let's say you already have some magic. All right, we're kind of basing this video maybe on the fact that you kind of already know some magic, right? You're not a beginner. You probably have a closet. You've got some magic stored up. You probably have magic in your box or in your drawers already that you could do. Okay, you probably do. So here's what I want you to look for when you go back through your DVDs or you go back through your stuff. Look for magic that uses borrowed items. Okay, because you're gonna wanna do something that feels natural in a bar. So any magic with straws, any magic with cups or bottles or cigarettes or coins or dollar bills or peanuts in a bowl, whatever, right? Napkins. Look at the props already that are available to you where you work. And ask yourself, do I have magic tricks already that use some of these props? Don't think about the fact that, well, they're not big or they're not flashy or they're not long or they're not, drawn out. That doesn't matter. You're looking for little bits of entertainment. Bar magic is way different than magic elsewhere. I mean, you got a lot of things to consider. Crowds, noise, lighting, okay? So finding those fun small bits that you can do with the props around you, especially if they bring out your personality. You want your personality to shine through. You don't want to just be, the magic bartender, right? You want to be, oh, Linda the bartender, she does magic. You want them to know your name. You want them to be familiar with you, your personality, your style. You want to use magic that shows off who you are, okay? Another piece of advice, and I think I kind of already briefly mentioned it, but you want tricks that are short and sweet. You want to go in and out, okay? You don't want these long, drawn-out tricks that involve a story and your spectator following certain characters and like you pick a number and then add it and then you do this. You don't want stuff that takes time. Number one, like I said, you've got customers, you got to help them. Number two, lighting. Number three, noise. Number four, your spectators might be a little diminished. Okay, so let's not do long drawn out effects, okay? In a busy bar, you don't have that kind of time. And lastly, of course, have fun, right? Have fun. This is fun. Magic should be fun. Hanging out, being social, that's fun. You want people to have a good time when they're at your establishment. And of course, you want your boss to be happy with you as well. All right, so let's do some trick recommendations for tricks you probably already know. All right, so either you have them or don't have them, but maybe you've seen them on TV. Maybe you've seen David Blaine or one of your favorite celebrities do them. So you probably have an inkling perhaps about how they work. Maybe you just haven't picked up these props yet, but I would like to remind you that they are out there. Number one, coin and bottle, right? Coin and bottle. And let me just say, not coin bite, okay? Coin and bottle, because why? Because it's a bar, because you have bottles around. Right? Because it's an optical illusion. And the great thing about coin and bottle is it can be examined because the coin's way down there. And then you just take the bottle, put it under the bar. You can go back to it later and pull it back out at another time. But coin and bottle is a great one. I will say it's getting harder and harder to find a good coin and bottle prop. So if you have one, great. If you need one, start looking. Start looking for one and definitely read some reviews on how good it is. Second, torn and restored napkin. Torn and restored napkin, that old one, yes, I think David Copperfield taught us all how to do it on TV, right? So, but it's still a good one and it's a classic and people like it. But I'll give you a fun torn and restored napkin recommendation a little later. Ashes, number three, ashes. There's two ash tricks that we could be talking about. We could be talking about the ash on palm with the spectator, right? I think Blaine did that, right? Where you hold their hands and you let go, and then you do a little thing with a lighter, right? Fire magic is great for bars. A little thing with a lighter, and then they open their hand and the ashes on their palm, right? It's a good one for a bar. The other good one is ashes on arm. I think Blaine did this too, right? This could be done with a revelation. So it's a card trick or something. You take the ashtray, you dump it out on your arm, rub, and then it's revealed in your arm, okay? Those are great bar tricks. You've done them in the past, maybe you stopped doing it, you threw that trick out, but that's a great bar trick. Any bill switch, they give you a bill, you take it, you fold it, you unfold it. It turns into, a mismade bill or it turns into 100. Whatever, a bill switch is great. My favorite is 4 quarters by Magic Ballet. I did a review for that, so that's a fun one to look at. Because of cigarettes, any cigarette trick. Cigarette vanish, the easiest cigarette vanish is with a TT, right? You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't want to ruin yours, there are other ones out there that are specifically designed for cigarettes. There's even poles out there that'll vanish a cigarette. So vanishing cigarettes, any tricks with cigarettes would be great. Also any bends, all right? Bend magic is fantastic for bars because it doesn't rely on a lot of patter. They understand. You're holding a spoon. The spoon bends. They get it, You hand it out, they can't unbend it. So any spoon bend, you know, a key bend, anything like that, any cool bend. You know, bend a bendy straw, right? Bend a coffee stirrer, bend tricks. My last recommendation is a coin trick, right? But I'm going to recommend a product. So get David Roth's Basic Coin Magic for $24. That is a great instructional video to learn some basic coin tricks, especially if you don't do coin tricks. If you're like, oh, I'm not a coin magician. Okay, but coin magic works great in bars. David Roth's got a great video. And on that, you'll learn Chink-a-Chink. Chink-a-Chink is the coins across. It's the classic. It'd be so awesome just to bring a mat out, go down, and do Chink-a-Chink. Again, it's one of those types of tricks where you don't need a lot of patter. They understand that your hands go down, the coins vanish from underneath it. It's a great DVD. David Roth, can't get better than David Roth. And that's a great trick to learn. All right, so those are tricks you know. Let's talk about some tricks you may not know, okay? These are tricks you may not know. Number one, Jiggernaut by Mark Genist. This is a trick that uses a bartender's jigger. What's more natural than that, right? It's a jigger and an olive, and it repeatedly vanishes and appears underneath the jigger. It's like a cups and balls trick. This is also getting harder and harder to find. If you have it, great. Otherwise, you might have to search eBay, but or just go watch the trailer. Go watch the trailer and see if you could come up with your own version. But try to find Mark's because I think it's a classic. Second one, Refilled by Henry Harris. I've reviewed this a couple times now, talked about how cool a trick it is. I'm definitely putting it in my next parlor act. Especially, this trick is good if somebody orders a Corona, right? If they order a Corona, perfect, absolutely perfect. Otherwise, you could talk about, hey, you know what I do with my empties? I do this, right? So that's good too. But in lieu of that, any trick that is a vanishing wine bottle, beer bottle, Coke bottle, vanishing bottle, okay? Just find a vanishing bottle effect. I mentioned torn and restored napkin earlier. So my recommendation is Starkle from Dan Harlan. Reviewed this also. It's at Penguin Magic. And my review was, I think, last year in 2022, somewhere around in May 6th. Starkle is torn and restored napkin, but a star is cut out of the inside. So the visual is so awesome. And you get to leave it with them as a souvenir. So that's the coolest. Ghost Bills by Andrew Main. So we talked about tricks with money. This is tricks with dollar bills, all right? Ghost Bills is bills that pass through each other. It's a penetrating bill effect. It's really cool. It's also sold out a lot of places. So you may have to look for it on eBay or in some of the forums, ask if people have it. But again, I think if you find some tricks with dollar bills, torn and restored, passing through each other, you know, levitating, you know, even some thread loops, right? Get out some loops, make some dollar bills levitate, perfect, right? Again, don't need a lot of words or patter. If you have their bill and it levitates between your fingers and you grab it. Super, super simple. Anything that lights up, okay? The light. Anything that shoots fire, okay? Fire launcher, wallet that opens up, shoots fire, flash paper, fire shooter, anything like that. So bright lights, right? Anything that flashes light, flashes fire is great, provided you're safe, right? Provided you're safe. And like we mentioned earlier, anything that bends, anything that vanishes. Disappearance, great, right? Things that disappear are amazing to people who might be a little diminished. Anything that bends or vanishes, great. Let me give you some recommendations as far as videos or books, things that you could study. The big one is Mind Bogglers from Dan Harlan. Mind Bogglers from Dan Harlan, these are a 4-volume set, DVDs. They range in price between $22 and $30. Each one has a ton of stuff. Let me just say, when you start talking about buying bar bet magic on video, DVD, books, just understand that the word magic is a very loose term. Bar magic, betches, things like that, those books, they're more like puzzles. They're more like brain teasers, head scratchers, or just things that you're saying, right? and the spectator doesn't understand fully what you're saying, and you said, oh, well, I said I could get the dollar bill without lifting the glass. I didn't lift the glass, I moved the table, or something like that, right? So just understand you're not learning like super difficult magic sleight of hand when you purchase things like this. So Mind Bogglers, like I said, four volumes, tons of great stuff. Tons of great stuff. What I would do if I were you, I would just buy volume 1. Just buy volume 1 and see if you like it. You'll get enough on that to start, okay? So put in some of the classics that I mentioned, marry that with a couple of the tricks that you hadn't heard of, grab Mind Bogglers 1 and throw some of those in as like salt and pepper, right? Some spice. And then later down the road, if you feel like you need some new material, buy Mind Bogglers 2, right? Don't go all in. See if you like it, and then if you do, then you can get the subsequent videos. If you want a one-shot, I would recommend Diamond Jim Tyler's Live 2. Diamond Jim Tyler, he did a live. Get his second one. It's $30. Make sure it says awesome bar bets, puzzles, and magic stunts. All right. So that's a one shot. You can drop $30. You'll get a video, and Diamond Jim is awesome, right? You'll learn a ton of stuff from that. Got a little bit more of a budget. Okay. You have a little bit more of a budget. You want to blow a ton of money. You can get Amaze Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere Magic Tricks, Bar Bets, and Scams. It's an $11 download at Penguin Magic. You're going to get 100 tricks taught by celebrity magician Rich Ferguson. Section 4 is all about bar bets. So you want to just go in for a small amount of money, $11. You'll get some other magic tricks that are fine, but you want to focus on the bar bet one. You want to go even cheaper than that? Penguin Magic also has a download called Amazing Bar Bets by Stefan Ablett. It's $5. It's a PDF, and you'll learn 54 stunts. So not video, it's a PDF, but it's only $5, and it's a cheap investment to learn 54 stunts. You want a book? You can head on over to Amazon. Diamond Jim Tyler has a book. So you can get bar bets to win big bucks, money-making tricks, and brain teasers for only $10. So you'd rather get a book with a bunch of stuff in it, you can grab that book as well. So I hope that gets you started. I hope that gives you enough information to get the balls rolling. If you have done bartending magic in the past, or if you have a comment about what I've said, please contribute to the conversation down below. Either correct something I've said. You said, you know what, David's off his rocker. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Definitely, you can add those as well. Or trick suggestions that you have found have worked for you, or any other tips and advice you would like to give fellow bartenders who are looking to do a little bit of magic during their shift, all right? And I hope I see you guys out there. Have fun. See you next time. Bye.